Well, we did it again. In what turned out to be another super close game, the Chiefs pull out the victory, the dub, so to speak. That's right. With a last second walk-off field goal, it was the doink for the division. Now, listen, I'm not really overly popular with this whole doink for division thing. They got T-shirts out now and shit, and I don't even know that I really love it, but it is what it is. That's right. We did walk away with another win, making us now 12-1. I say us like, I did something inside of any of that, but um, I did really. I mean, I got up, did 3 spins to the left, 1 to the right. I made sure I was wearing the right shirt, the right hat, all those things that help the team because that's what we do as fans of the NFL and any team, really. You have your own superstitions. Um, I don't know, man. I'm veering away from 'em a little bit though. There for the longest time, I wouldn't wear anything that was cheap related on game day. But hey, it is what it is. We did walk away with the win. It is, I made everybody in the NFL community irate. They can't believe the Chiefs keep winning like this. But let's talk about that here in just a second. This is the Indiana Chiefs fans. I am your host, Golden Jay. And the Chief is not with me tonight because it's my fault. We had a late run with a Christmas pageant for one of my grandkids. It didn't start when I thought it was going to start. The schedule got all jacked up. But the Chief will be back next week after we defeat the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland to go 13-1. I'm just saying that's going to happen. Just be prepared for it, America. I know. I know. Okay, so listen, I've been on TikTok, I've been on Reels, I've seen the memes, I've seen it all. Everybody's all pissed off that the Chiefs keep winning. It's our time. It's okay. You want to be pissed? Be pissed. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow wondering whether I care if you hate the Chiefs or don't hate the Chiefs. I love my Chiefs. Good, bad, ugly, blowout. It doesn't matter. I love my Chiefs, and I will continue to root for my Chiefs every weekend. I will support and wear red every Friday, and then I just wear the grays and the other colors the rest of the week. But always supporting the Chiefs in some way or the other, because I'm a fan. I'm a loyal fan, and for those of you that think I ever jumped on the bandwagon, no dice, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely have been a Chiefs fan long enough to know what it's like to have a 13-3 season or something of that effect. Many years of losing and heartbreak and no playoffs, and so this is my time. This is my time as a Chiefs fan. It's the Chiefs' time as a Chiefs fan. He's been through the same drought that I went through. He knows what it's like to root for a team that's not winning, to have a quarterback that's not very good, to have an offensive line that just is absolutely horrible with no wide receivers. We've always been really lucky and had some really good defenses over the years, but you know, the greats that have come through, Derek Thomas, Neil Smith, Tamba Hali. Now, if you don't know, Tamba got inducted into the Ring of Honor during this Chargers game, which I'm sure was amazing. He was out there beating the drum to start the game off. It was absolutely amazing. And it's not just because he was a cheap and the things he did when he was there. He's still there. He's still working with the defensive line. I don't know that it's in a capacity of a coach, so to see. I don't know, but I know that he's out there working with Karlopoulos. You've seen when he come in, when Furious George come in his rookie season, that Tamba was out there working with him because he knew how great this young player was going to be. So he wanted to make sure that he learned the ins and the outs of what it's like to be a defensive lineman. And listen, man, it's unbelievable what Furious George is doing. He may not rack up sacks every game, but he is definitely racking up pressure and causing havoc in that backfield every game. And man, we're happy to have him. Unfortunately, if you followed Furious George, he came from Purdue, which That's a home state college here, and if you follow, you know that Purdue is just they just suck this year. They just have been horrible, getting blown out by a really big game, and and the stuff like that. So, for all you Purdue fans out there who happen to listen to this, I'm so sorry that your team sucks, and hopefully they can recruit and build a better, stronger team. But also, if you're an Indiana person listening to this pod, you'll know that the Hoosiers, the IU Indiana University Hoosiers, are having a tremendous season. They had that little stint with Ohio State, but fuck Ohio State. Who likes them, right? They suck. Everybody hates Ohio State. Everybody but Ohio State fans, Yeah, I'm just playing. I don't care if you like him or don't. I don't really give. I don't lose sleep over Ohio State, and I don't even hate the college or the team itself. It's the fans that are kind of iffy and pissy. I don't fuck them. So, yeah, there you go. Stop your whining. You have your winners, you have your losers. Ohio State's just a winner. I mean, they're just a constant. They're a constant win. So it's okay. Let them go be them. They spat out some great players who come into the NFL. Well, maybe not Justin Fields, but you know what I'm saying. But all right, so like I said, Chief's not with me tonight, so it's probably going to be somewhat of a shorter podcast. So we'll just kind of go over some stuff here. Um, I got all my game notes, and I got all my stats up here. So let's get into this. Let's just run over a couple things real quick. Patrick Mahomes went 24 for 37 for 210 yards and one touchdown. And I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like he's putting up the numbers. And I know I don't know. He 37 attempts, with only 24 completions, really starting to bug me a little bit. It just seems like, and it's not that the guys are dropping it. It's not the receivers this time around. I feel like it's Pat. He's just overthrowing or underthrowing, and maybe because he's under pressure most of the time. I don't know. Pacheco being back for the second game. He had 14 carries, 55 yards. Kareem only had 5 for 16. They made a comment during the game that Andy had said that that he's letting Kareem rest for a little while because he pretty much carried the load while Isaiah was out. So it's nice to see that Kareem's getting a little bit of a break. Let's don't give him too much of a break. Let's don't cool him down. Let's keep him hot. We definitely want that. Travis went. He had 5 for 45 on 6 targets. Worthy went 5 for 41 on 6 targets. D Hop 4 for 32 on 9 targets. Juju went 2 for 31 on 2 targets. Noah Gray went 4 for 26 on 5 targets. So, I mean, it's not that, looking at those, Travis missed 1, Xavier missed 1. D Hop, man, that might be a 5 there he didn't get a hold of. Once again, I think that's overthrown. I don't, and a couple of them that they're jammed out of there that weren't kosher, and we'll talk about one of those here in just a little bit. We did end up with how many sacks did we end up with? We ended up with 3 sacks, 2 by Wharton and 1 by Nick Bolton. Chris Jones obviously still getting in there and just wreaking havoc in there. So, man, it's just amazing to watch that dude play. Nico Romero, come in, signed up off the practice squad. Hardman's out this week. He had 2 returns for 52 yards. His longest was 27. P. Ryan had 1. That was on kick returns. On punt returns, Nico had 3 for 34 yards. And of course, Matt Wright went 4 for 4. Brought up 13 of those 19 points. Did I mention that the Chiefs beat the Chargers 19-17? Just checking. I did send my buddy out, Eric. He's a Chargers fan. He's went out to the last couple years at Arrowhead and watched the game out there. So hopefully he had a good time. I know that I was happy he was able to make it. All right, let's get into this game. December 8th of 2024. It was the Chargers at the Chiefs. It was an 8-20 game on NBC and Peacock. For the first quarter, the Chargers win the toss. They chose to defer. Listen, right out the bat, Kansas City comes out with 3 runs and they get a first down. Run, boom, first down. The first catch was to Kelsey for 12 yards. I mean, that's an amazing run right out the bat. But it ended with a right field goal, which gave the Chiefs a 3-0 lead. And then we got into something a little more interesting. Apparently, is it Matt? I think it's Matt Wright. Hold on, let me double check. Yes, Matthew Wright. Apparently, Wright doesn't have a very good kickoff leg. So Justin Reed, number 20 from the defense, comes in and does all of the kickoff duties throughout this entire game. And it wasn't that they weren't bad. They were somewhat straight, and but man, they just fell just a hint short. If you're gonna put them into the end zone, you need to put them into the end zone. I know we got a whole little landing zone type thing. I don't know, but it starts off with Chanel right away for a big, tackling for a big loss. Wharton with his first sack. But then they got a big pass for 20, and they had him in the sticks, man. But Bolton comes up with a very bad penalty and to add another 15. But defense holds and the Chargers punt. Think about that for a minute. How about that defense, baby? Of course, the Chiefs drive. The next drive ends with a punt. It was a beautiful one that pins the Chargers at the 2-yard line. The Chargers take back over, but their stall drives and they punt. We end the first quarter 3-0, Kansas City in the lead. Not really much of a big first quarter for scoring, huh? 3 points. But they end the first quarter with the Chiefs with the ball, but that drive stalls and they punt. Chargers turn around and go 3 and out. Chiefs drive their next drive ends in a field goal, giving them a 6-0 lead. But another 3 and out for the Chargers. I'm going to say that this was a bad no call on the Hopkins pass. Should have been a holding on this drive. I don't know if this is there was trying to think. I should have made an extra note. If this was the one that I don't think it was. I think that was later in the actual game. So let's just move on. So the Chiefs stall. Okay, so check this out. We're at 3-2. We're at third down and 2 to go. And they've run the ball on and off. But we're 3rd and 2. Why not put Pacheco in there to get those 2 yards? You know that's he's the hammer, man. Put him in there. Put him in there. Let him run these 3rd and 2s. Let's pick up that first down. No, they decide they're going to throw the fucking ball for 70 fucking yards or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly. And it didn't connect. I don't. This is a thing that keeps coming back every week. They're in these third and very, very short situations. If you don't want to run up the middle, I completely understand. You got Nick Bosa sitting in there. Khalil Mack is sitting there. I get it. You don't want to run the ball at them. Let's do an in around. Let's do a jet sweep. Let's do something along those lines. If you want to change it up a little bit, and you don't want to run up the middle, I get it. But we need to quit trying to throw 50-yard bombs in these fucking 3rd and 2s. This is a couple weeks in a row that it's really jumped out at me, and we've had to punt away. Justin Herbert goes out hurt with 4:28 to go. They bring in their backup. And listen, Justin Herbert is not staying out. You knew. I mean, he was laying on the ground. He was grasping at his thigh or his knee. I'm not exactly sure what he was bumping at, but the dude is a monster. I mean, the dude is just I know that I'm supposed to hate the Chargers because they're division rivals and shit, but this guy can fucking play, and he's a badass when he gets out there. He's one of those guys that I watched him play a game a couple years ago with like busted ribs and shit. But he's a competitor. He's a gamer. He wants to be out there. He wants to make a difference, and he's a good quarterback. And I'm gonna tell you, with Harbaugh at the head of that team, this is going to be a very, very tough team for Kansas City to continue to outscore. It's gonna be crazy to just kind of keep beating them because they're just gonna get nothing but better and better. They're a good team now at 8-5, but they're gonna keep getting better and better. So in the next couple of years, they are going to be a definite powerhouse. So it'll be interesting to sit back and watch. As long as they can keep Justin, somewhat healthy. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Chargers, okay, like I said, he went out. They brought in their backup. They did a couple runs and they went back out. Chiefs take over. Drive goes well with 47 seconds to go in the half. Mahomes to Hopkins for a touchdown, making the score 13-3 at the end of the first half. Now, let me tell you, as a Chiefs fan, I don't like a 13-0. I want it to be 40-0, 40-0 at the first half, but because I know the Chiefs like to let teams get back into it, and that's exactly what happened. We start the third quarter. Justin Reed on the kickoff, kicking it off to the Chargers. Their opening drive in the second half ends with a walk-off touchdown. I mean, pretty much nobody was there. 13-7, Chiefs are still in the lead. But the Chiefs turn around and go 3 and out to start the second half. What the shit? We've abandoned the run at this point. Throwing again on a 3rd and short. Chargers' next drive, their second drive, ends in another touchdown. So 2 drives into the second half, we're down. The score is 13-14 with the Chargers in the lead. And the Chiefs are driving at the end of the third quarter, 13-14. Once again, we are throwing on 3rd and short. We got 2 amazing running backs, and we're throwing on 3rd and short. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. I have no fucking idea. It drives me crazy. Oh, okay. So here was that hit on D-Hop I was talking about. That he was up in the air going for the ball. He gets nailed in the back, and there's no flag. Now, listen, I am a guy that likes football. I'm a guy that thinks that if you're going to play football, you're going to get fucking hit. And if a guy goes up for the ball like that, especially D-Hop, man, he was way up in the air, and he's going to get smoked on the way down. It happens. We had this rule called hitting a defenseless player, which the Chiefs got called on earlier in the game. And we had that's I don't know, 10-yard penalty or some shit like that, which continued the Chargers drive at that point. But this one was not called. So what I'm getting at here is not that the fact that it was a no call, but the fact that the exact same play happened with Chiefs defense on a Chargers offensive wide receiver got called, but this one did not. So what I'm saying is refs, if you're going to call it, call it. If you're not going to call it, don't call it, but make up your fucking mind. Don't expect us to be like, oh, well, that one was different because no, there's no difference. He was a defenseless receiver. He was up in the air going for the ball when the guy smoked him in the back. And the same thing happened on the Kansas City side. So the Kansas City defensive player smoked him in the back. And then they threw the flag at him. And I'm okay with that. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I definitely don't want to see anybody get hurt. But if you're going to call it on one, you have to call it on the other. So right there it tells you that the refs are not siding with fucking Kansas City, or else there'd have been 4 flags from 4 different referees in the middle of the field at that point. I'm just saying. If you're going to call one, you got to call both. It's only fair. Anyways, our drive ends with a field goal. Matthew Wright hits another one, gives us back the lead, 16-14. Wharton gets a sack with 5:30 to go left in the fourth. Defense holds to a field goal. Sometimes I can't read my own notes, people. You have to forgive me. You know, in the heat of the game, I'm writing these notes. I want to make sure that I'm remembering everything that goes on, and sometimes my shorthand is not very good, so you have to forgive me. But anyways, defense holds the Chargers to a field goal, but they go back up 17-16. Chargers lead. All right, guys, 2-minute warning. Here we go. By now, before the 2 minute, the Chargers have depleted their timeouts. They can't stop Kansas City. They're dinking and dunking all the way down the field. They get in this field goal range, but they keep kind of dinking and dunking. And your boy Mahomes goes to Kelsey, and it was so interesting because it's situational football at this point. And what I mean by that is that Travis Kelsey knows what the score is. We're down by one. We are within field goal range. We needed the first down to kind of let the clock run out. Travis doesn't need to turn around and try to make a run to the end zone to give the chance back to the Chargers, because if you do, they could dink and dunk down the field, going out of bounds and all that shit, get in field goal range and beat us by one. Or a touchdown, depending on what it is. But Travis turns around, catches the ball, and basically Travis just sets down. He's got at least 3 to 4 yards around him, but he doesn't want to take that chance. He's got the ball secure. He just basically sets down and waits for someone to come up and touch him. And we run the clock down to 1 second. Andy calls a timeout. 1 second left on the clock. Okay. Now, if it was Butker, I can see where, it doesn't matter where you put Butker. Butker's pretty much he pretty much nails just about anything you give him, especially in Arrowhead. Matthew Wright made me a little leery. Maybe a little bit closer, guys. He would have been all right. But I understand not taking the chance of fumbling the ball or having some sort of turnover. So we sit down, we run it down to 1 second. Matthew Wright comes out. Remember, the Chargers have no timeouts. They can't try to ice him. So boom, he's out there. 1 second, ball gets hiked. He kicks it. It's up, and he doinks it off the upright. But not in Bears style. It wasn't a Bears kicker. Matthew doinks it and sends it into the uprights, scoring the field goal with no time left on the clock, giving the Chiefs the win at 19-17. And once again, I say it, and I don't really love it, but it's a doink for the division, which means that with this win over the Chargers, Kansas City takes their ninth, count them, their ninth AFC West division leaders title, whatever it's called. They won the West. They won the AFC West for 9 years in a row. Unfucking believable. It's unbelievable. The last one to win it, I think, was the Chargers. And that's been 10 years ago. 9 consecutive titles, AFC West titles. Unbelievable. But the West is not enough. We are ready to win the AFC. Now, I read somewhere that if we beat Cleveland and Houston and Buffalo loses one more game, then that AFC number 1 seed is ours for the taking. So basically 2 more wins and a Bills loss is all ours. And the way the Bills played last weekend, the way that they played against the Rams, I was super surprised. I expected Buffalo to come out with, I don't know, I thought for sure at least a 10-point victory on that game. I didn't expect them to lose the Rams. Rams. I expected them to win by 10, to be honest. So the Bills got, I do believe they got Detroit this upcoming weekend. which could be a monster game either way for them. Will be interesting to see. By the way, as much as I fucking hate him, my hat's off to Josh Allen. He did throw 3 touchdowns and ran for 3 touchdowns in a single game, which gave him some sort of record somewhere along the lines. So hats off to that dude for putting it up there and going and getting it. I mean, and also for his engagement to Hallie Stenfield. I mean, Haley Stenfield. I don't even know. I know her from Pitch Perfect. She's a damn fine actress. You might remember her from Hawkeye. I think she's supposed to be the next quote unquote Hawkeye in the Marvel universe. I guess I don't know if they decided to go with that or not. I just don't know. But congratulations to him on his engagement, and congratulations to him on his record for 3-3 there. I mean, but he's a competitor too. I don't really care much for him, but I think he's kind of a dick, kind of a whine ass, kind of like Aaron Rodgers. I used to like Aaron Rodgers till he left Green Bay. I don't care much for him anymore. Him and his Hiawatha stuff that he's doing, I don't even understand any of that either. But hey, man, he's his own. It's all good. All right, Kansas City travels to Cleveland this weekend. I actually did look into tickets. We talked about going. I'm not sure I want to see a game in the dog pound. I hear it's a little rough, but I'm sure there'll be a ton, and I mean a ton of Kansas City fans hanging out in Cleveland this weekend. So best of luck to Kansas City as they travel to Cleveland and probably play in some snow and some elements. But hey, man, that's what football is all about. That's what I love about fucking football is that you get these open air stadiums where you get to play in the elements. It might be raining, it might be snowing, it might be sleeting. The only time they stop a game is if it's lightning out, which is understandable. Nobody wants to get struck by lightning. That would suck. I wouldn't want that. Yeah, good stuff right there. But yeah, off to Cleveland, which I'll pronounce a victory right now. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be another close one. I don't think they'll cover the spread. It's probably a 3.5 to 6.5 point spread, maybe. I have no idea. So I didn't look, but I don't think the Kansas City will cover the spread. I think it's going to be a very close game. So it'll be interesting. Jameson Winston is playing well for Cleveland right now. They kind of got a little fire burning. And I'm not talking about the dumpster, not the one out back in there. That whole thing has moved to Dallas as they got beat by the Bengals on Monday night. Yeah, Jerry Jones is just, I mean, he's fueling that fire with money. He's just walking out there throwing $100 bills in that dumpster, just watching them burn because that money he dished out for Dax Prescott ain't worth a shit right now, especially since he's sitting on the sideline. So good luck down there in Dallas. Hope it's all but I don't think you're America's team anymore. I think you guys can scratch that thing off the list. You are definitely not America's team. All right, guys. What else? Like I said, Chief will be back with me next week. Should be a good time. We'll talk about the Cleveland game and whatever else is going on in the world of Kansas City. We will find out whether DJ Humphries, our brand new left tackle, who only played basically half a game before he left the game with what presumably could be a hamstring injury. We'll see if he's going to play or if we're back to Wanye Morris. I mean, we do what we got to do in that situation. So hopefully they can get Kingsley some reps and some practice time, and he can become a good left tackle because we're going to need something there. That's all I'm saying. All right, and if anybody knows what happened to Hardman, I never did hear a report of why he was on IR this week and why Nico got his shot. I was happy to have Nico. Nico did a great job. I felt confident in watching him field all the punts and the kickoffs. So definitely want to keep him around. Of course, P. Ryan was also right beside him in case it kind of went in his direction. P. Ryan is pretty clutch. So, man, I just hope that they're able to figure out how to keep some of these people for the next couple of years and keep the roster full. I'd love for him to keep D Hop. I mean, absolutely love for him to keep D Hop. So, all right, guys, it's me. It's Golden Jay. I'm signing out of here. Thank you for listening to Indiana Chiefs fans. And, we are truly, truly Chiefs fans that live in Indiana. So if you're one of us, hit us up. Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast at gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Love to hear from any of you and all of you. Give me a shout. Also go check out the other pods in the Season in Hell Sports Network, which include the Gridiron Kings and the Puck Yeah podcast. That's right. Everything you want to know about the NHL this week, it's going to be on there. Lance has got you covered. So go check it out. The Puck Yeah podcast right here on the Seasons in Hell Sports Network, baby. All right, I'm out. I just have I don't know. I just have to say, from our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana, I just got 3 words for you. How about those Chiefs? Sorry, that's 4 words. Later.
Thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?